Greetings, beloved. I'm back with my little piece of land that I decided that we purchased for my theme parks. Now, this is a huge, huge piece of land. As a matter of fact, it took me forever to wrap my brain around how huge this land is. And so, if you remember, we're going to go back up here. Here's the YMCA right there. Here are these athletic fields over here. And this is a main road. And you can get up that way, and you can also get from here into here. So lots of ways to access this land. Also, I noted the water tends to flow all these ways. From here, okay. So I kept that in mind when I was doing some site development plans. And my hardest decision right now, this is a really interesting little feature. This is not a road. This is a bike trail. I think that's awesome. And I definitely would not want to mess with that. And one of the things I decided was I would like to have an area right here that's kind of left to be natural now, not left as a farm like it is now, but to try and cultivate the way when I mentioned over here that it's kind of wooded and beautiful. And I thought how cool to leave that as a space. Also, this is not far from Cahokia Mounds, which is one of the most fascinating indigenous historical sites, and there's a great interpretive center. And I thought how really cool if you could find local indigenous folks to kind of create their story. That's kind of out of my area. That's beyond my expertise and not my place, but I thought it'd be cool to have that included here. So as I started to plan, this is huge right here. This is massive. This is bigger, about the same, maybe a little bigger than Epic Universe, right? And so then you still have all of this, even if we leave our little space there. And then you have really room over here for a whole other park. And so I really thought about it. And, again, you still have room over here. You have room here. I feel like this could be good parking. I feel like this could be a great entertainment shopping area. There are some houses here. If you can't buy them out, you got to behave for them. Again, there's some houses here. If you can't buy them out, you got to behave for them. There are a couple little bitty farmhouses here, but I think if one bought their farm, I don't think they have a reason to exist anymore. And hopefully, of course, they would get a very fair price, so that they could either buy more farmland. I mean, it's Illinois. There's tons of it, right? It just goes on and on and on all the way up to Chicago. So I'm going to show you a picture of as I started to develop. Oh, it's in here. Duh. Here we go. Here is that same area, but as I started to develop it. And sorry about that. Let's see if I can do the markup here. How do I do the markup? There's a markup area, isn't there? Well, you can see here at the top center, that is a park, a full, giant, elaborate park based on time and the holidays. And then at the bottom, in the center there, you see a park that's designed around regions of the whole world and cultures that come with them. Less politics and nations and more cultures and peoples. And then in the middle, you see I kind of left an indigenous thing there. And around all those rainbow areas, those are kind of, what did I call them? Solar punk kind of areas. I really felt like any theme park in the future needs to really pay attention to our impact on the planet. And those that whole area on the right there between the highway and the road and the bike path up there, that is a park that's based on world fairs of the future, or contemporary world fairs and world fairs of the future, where kind of, especially utopia, I kind of have a utopia theme in my brain for all of it, but especially for that area. And you notice I have these water features. One of the reasons I like the Midwest is because there's no shortage of water. um, you know, Water is prevalent and clean and good in that part of the country. And I love water features, unlike contemporary Disney Imagineers, apparently. So, and my favorite things at the Disney parks were often just their use of water for theming and to ease the space and to define the space. So water was real important. And as I talk about each park, the big question I have at this point is which park would be the first to develop, and how much would one develop before another one opened up, and things like that. And I think that's for another time.